Ooh, that was good.
That was
all right. Well, welcome back to Every Day's a Bonus. I am Brent MOXEY, joined by, of course, the infamous Kennkington. And over there, far away, in a brand new pair of pants, Logan Weber. There he is. No green, no gray. It's blue for him today.
All right.
I'm a poet. I don't even realize that I am also a poet. What? Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm the hippopotamus. My rhymes are bottomless.
Keep going, Logan. He's not going to keep going because that's all he has.
That's the whole joke.
That is the joke.
That was great. It wasn't even a joke.
Hippopotamus.
It was good.
It was good.
I don't want you to think it was bad, right?
This gangster.
Hey, if you are just now joining us for the first time, you've jumped onto this podcast. We're thankful you are here. We're just three guys, different walks of life, living our life, sitting around talking about it. And so, man, we have had a number of episodes in the can. Go back and check those out. You can check out Logan's extremely gross story from 2 episodes ago, or it might be where on earth we got the name of this podcast from. It might be in the beginning when Ken and I were in like a little trailer studio trying to just make this thing happen. And man, you guys are just supported this big time. So thanks for watching. It might be on YouTube if you're watching. You might be listening to this on Apple, Spotify, or on
Apple, Spotify?
I'm sorry, Apple Podcast, Spotify. I just rolled them together.
Apple, Spotify, YouTube.
Wherever you've gotten to be listening right now, we're glad you're here.
Do you guys want to go to Mac Burger King? Yeah. It's like I just kind of rolled the two together. My bad on that. So, but it wasn't as bad as last week when Ken really messed up a word at big time. Go back and watch that.
Yeah. Hey, everybody has a word they can't say.
They do. We were just talking about, okay, what is a word that you have maybe said your whole life, and maybe it's wrong, or maybe people say it differently.
But people, you don't know it unless somebody points it out.
Has somebody pointed out a word that, besides last week?
That's why I come to the podcast.
Yeah.
Figure that's what we are for.
My
so
example
we're just
is
teaching
like
Ken how to talk.
That's right. Every time my kids, they grew up watching like Disney movies. So we always called it Pirates of the Caribbean, right? But when we were going on a cruise or something, we're going to the Caribbean, right? So it's not spelled any different. It's Caribbean or Caribbean. You know,
that's 2 ways to say it, but my mother-in-law cannot say Walmart. Oh. It's Walmart.
Walmart with a K.
Go to Walmart.
I have noticed
she doesn't hear it.
Well, in Dallas, Georgia, where
it could be,
we all live, it's Kroger's. Oh. There's no S.
There is no S.
But a lot of people go to Kroger's.
And why is it Kroger, but if you take the K away, it's Roger? So shouldn't it be Roger, right? Because my first name is Roger. So like, wouldn't that Kroger or Roger?
Your first name is Roger?
Roger is my dad's name. So he gave that to me. Brent is my middle name. And listen to this. MOXEY is my last name. I know.
Is that the way that works?
It's weird. It's weird how that is.
Okay, so you said your dad, that prompted me. My dad, brilliant man, aeronautical engineer, Mensa Society, top 1% of all. His word was Syracuse. He could not say it right. It was March Madness, and said, "Hey, who do you like?" He goes, "I think Sarah Cruz is going to win."
Sarah Cruz.
And
I love her films.
Yeah, I had to call him one. I'm like, "You mean Syracuse?" And he goes, "No, it's pronounced Sarah Cruz."
Sarah Cruz.
And I was like, "Wait a minute, whoa. Where's the other R?"
Oh,
and I'm not making this up. He could not admit it's wrong. He's like, "It's silent," and I'm like, No. You're saying it, but it's not there. And he goes,
it's
exactly. He could not admit it. But his was Syracuse.
Okay.
He could not say Syracuse.
My dad, Roger, and my mom.
Was it
Deanna?
Roger
MOXEY, because that's his last name. They live in Texas, Dallas, Fort Worth, which is where I grew up. That's right. Yeah. And but he pronounces it, and I love you, Dad, wrestling. So if we're going to wrestle or watch WWE or something, it's wrestling.
I
like that better. That's an upgrade.
Wrestle.
That's better.
Wrestle.
Yeah.
And his final one, I have to say it because I love you, Dad. He also says Washington.
Washington.
You're going to wash the car? Wash the car. Washington.
Okay, how do you say
an R in there?
The Worcestershire sauce?
Worcestershire.
That's a hard one. Worcestershire.
Okay, don't tell me there's a word I can say. You guys can't. Worcestershire.
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 There's a guy he's one of those YouTube cooks or whatever. does food videos on YouTube, and he sells wash your sister sauce. He has his own Worcestershire.
Because he
wash your
couldn't say
sister.
Worcestershire?
Yeah. Wash your sister.
What do you call the drink that you put sweet tea and lemonade in?
Arnold Palmer.
Yeah.
Arnold Palmer. I can't say
you can't
that.
say Palmer?
No.
Arnold Palmer. I kind of
You look like you just
slur-
swallowed some marbles.
Yeah, like I can't. I'll be like, I'll just put a little sweet tea and a little lemonade together.
Oh,
I'll
you
have
want
that
an Arnold
drink.
Palmer?
Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, an Arnold Palmer. It's like it slurs together.
I slur my own name when I like check into a hotel or something. What's the reservation under? Logan Weber. I'm like, I can't say my own. Why can't I say my own name?
Logan Weber. Wow, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
I get tripped up on my own name.
well,
Things you cannot do.
some things, so many
Ketchup.
words, so many.
I put ketchup on my burger.
Not ketchup.
Ketchup. It is
Now, my
ketchup.
sweet wife pronounces it ambulance.
Ambulance. Ambulance.
They're going to have to call it ambulance.
That's
It's
interesting.
The emphasis on Lance.
So she's putting the wrong
not an
emphasis on the
ambulance.
syllable. Yeah. So it's kind of like the
Syllable,
whole.
yes.
I say umbrella, and my wife says umbrella. Either that or it's the other way around. I say umbrella. All I know is we say it different.
They sounded the same to me.
Okay, listen. Listen
exactly
to
the
this. Hey, it's
same.
raining outside. I'm going to go get an umbrella.
Umbrella.
It's raining outside. I'm going to get an umbrella. You notice the emphasis on
No.
the syllable? You didn't notice that?
I did.
Umbrella or umbrella.
So it's the
umbrella.
flow.
Umbrella. It's
Okay.
maybe it's just the emphasis of that letter.
It's a cadence thing.
Oh, my goodness.
More than a pronunciation
I was
thing.
just in, and I didn't want to pronounce it wrong.
Okay.
Bucyrus, Ohio.
B.
Bucyrus.
B-U-C. Buck yours.
And
Bucyrus.
Exactly. So I'm like, I don't want to get on stage and say
there's
it.
Buchanan, Georgia, but I think it's
Buchanan?
Buchanan.
Buchanan.
Yeah. Isn't it Buchanan?
It's Buchanan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you go to Houston,
It's
Texas,
Houston,
but in New
Georgia.
York City, it's south of Houston Street. That's Houston, not
Okay.
Houston.
Well, Houston
Texas.
County in the middle of Florida or Georgia.
Georgia.
Yeah, but Bucyrus, Ohio.
Bucyrus. I
Bucyrus.
never even heard of that place.
And
in
I
Ohio.
had not either, and I didn't want to insult people, so I asked, how do you
There's
pronounce
the
this
famous
place?
biblical one,
Which is, of course,
Caesarea.
Caesarea.
But it's Caesarea.
Caesarea Philippi.
Caesarea.
Caesarea.
I don't know how to say it, but it's
funny.
famous.
That's like from the old scripture, Hezekiah 2:1. But Hezekiah is not a book in the Bible, so it can't be from that scripture.
Okay.
I think that's helpful. Wait, Logan. Wait a second. There's only 66 books.
Genesis,
be the
Exodus,
six-
Leviticus, Numbers,
Okay,
Deuteronomy,
now
song.
back.
Sing the song.
Exactly.
Hey,
There
on our
you go.
Westridge Kids YouTube channel, there is a 66 Books of the Bible song. So if you've never learned the 66 Books of the Bible,
There
learn
it
the
is.
song. Learn
Boom.
the song.
Right
So,
there.
Man, well, hey, well, here we are. We haven't even really kind of gotten started yet, right?
Welcome.
We are so glad
That's the
that
way
you're
this
here.
works.
I
But
guess it is.
you know, the cool part to me, and we don't really even identify it, but I just love how it kind of weaves into something of significance. Just there's a story or there's something that just like, ooh, that was good.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and that's why I think we started the whole thing in the first place is we just love hanging out.
Yep.
But there's always something. And right before we started, you were talking about something that I was like, oh man, that's going to be it this time.
Oh yeah, I was just reflecting back on when I was in high school, and a really cool opportunity and organization that I got to be a part of and actually help start. But it all started with the idea of my friend, and so I'll get to what we did. But let me just start with him. We were hanging out one evening at his house. I mean, middle of the night. 5 best friends were all hanging out at my buddy Connor's house. Shout out Connor. I won't say his last name, so everyone named Connor. Maybe it's about you. You know who you are.
I love Connor.
But anyways, middle of the night, we're out talking, and he was just kind of down. And I was like, what's up with you, dude? Like, why are you? Some girl got you down? What's going on? And he starts telling us about this magazine that he had read. It's a magazine called World Vision. And it was just sitting on the coffee table in their living room. And I'd never heard of it. And in the magazine, there was an article about the lack of clean water in the world. And we're getting close to like 8 billion people on the planet now, but at the time we were closer to 7 billion. I don't care where you land between 7 or 8 billion. That's a lot of people.
a lot of billions.
But anyways, over 1 billion people on planet Earth don't have access to clean water.
A billion with
over
a B.
a billion with a B.
That's crazy. Isn't it crazy that a billion is 1,000 millions?
Yeah, it's
Right?
mind-boggling.
That's a lot. Like, if there's 1 million, which is a lot, imagine having 1,000 1 million.
Okay, so I heard
That's
this
a
is
billion.
really cool. I don't know if we talked about it here
This
or
is
not.
clean water.
That is clean water.
I wanted to let you guys know.
If you had a million seconds,
Okay.
guess how long that would be?
1 million seconds.
A
million seconds.
in days. How long would that be? Colin, can you
days.
multiply that out real quick?
Wait, do you know it? Did you ask us a question you don't know the
Is this
answer
okay?
to?
I know the second part.
Is this is it years?
No, a million seconds,
Seconds.
it's days.
68
long?
days.
33 days.
11 and a half days.
I knew that.
Okay.
I was going to guess 68
that.
years.
11 and I do know this one. How
It's way
how many days is a billion seconds?
Okay, now
Okay, this is where it gets serious, right?
Yeah, so
it's
you're
like,
11
68
days.
days.
Okay.
No,
No.
it's got to be years now at this point. It's got to be
68
like
years. I'm just
100
sticking with my
years.
original answer.
No, 32.
Oh.
You go from
I was
11
gonna say
days,
33.
You were so
11
close.
days
In your mind.
to
didn't say
32
it.
years. How
Should've
crazy
said it.
is that?
That's a lot.
That's amazing.
I'm sorry.
So
I said
that's a
100.
billion.
That's
So a
messed
billion people that don't have fresh water. Is that what you just
That's
said?
A billion
30
people. I was
it's like
trying to make it
32.
32 years worth of people.
Okay.
Be a billion.
Yeah.
Now I don't know what we're talking about. So you,
So you're saying a friend read this article.
He shares this with us, and he says over 1 billion people on planet Earth don't have access to clean water,
Right.
And he just read this, and now
and
he's
it's just
bummed
got him
about
bummed
it.
out. He's just thinking
Wow.
about it. It's just hitting. We're 15 years old at the time, and it's just hitting him in his heart. And he's like, "This is just heavy. I just can't stop thinking about it."
Wow.
We have water fountains all over our schools.
Yep.
Sure.
We've got
Bottled water to
We
beat
got
the
bottled
band.
water everywhere. We've got tap water. I mean, we've got water. We take this for granted. It was something that he had never thought about. I had never
Yeah.
thought about it. Just something that at 15 years old had never crossed our
we
minds.
water
Okay.
the lawn.
Yeah.
with this water,
Yes.
and it's like
Yes.
these people want to drink it.
Yeah. We play in sprinklers.
So you're
Yeah.
15-year-olds, and somebody reads an article.
Middle of the
and you
night,
just-
we're walking around. He's telling us about it, and I said, "Well,
so what happened?
yeah." I said, "Well, what can we do about it?"
Yeah.
You know, like, okay, that's awful, but like, what can we do about it?
Exactly.
And we spent the rest of the night trying to figure out what could we actually do? Could we actually make a difference? And at the time, this is when Lance Armstrong and the whole Live Strong movement
Sure,
was big.
yep.
All the yellow bracelets
Gotcha.
were
Stuff,
super
yep.
popular. And in that article, it described in extreme cases of dehydration, a child's body cannot produce teardrops. They cry what's called dry tears.
Oh,
And so we were like, that's awful. And what a powerful name for whatever
Dry tears.
this could
Dry
be.
tears.
Let's start something. We'll call it Dry Tears. We ended up pooling our money together, which was a few $100s
for
for
15-year-olds, that's pretty
15-year-olds.
awesome.
Yeah, all
Yeah.
working our first
So
jobs.
you're telling me you got 5 15-year-olds,
yeah.
and you guys, somebody read an article, and y'all decided we're going to do something.
We decided we're going to do something. We said, let's order these. We ordered blue bracelets that said Dry Tears. And on the inside, you're a pastor. You'll know where the verse is. I can't remember it. I'm putting you on the spot. I can't remember where it is. I think it's in Matthew, but it's where Jesus says, whatever you do to the least of these, you've
done
unto me.
You've done unto me.
That's right. Yep.
Is it Matthew like 28,
It's
40?
in Matthew.
Yeah.
Maybe?
I love
15,
Matthew,
12?
Mark, Luke, John, all four of them.
I don't know.
love
I
all
wish
the
I knew
Gospels.
because we had that reference.
It's
on
in the Bible.
we had that referenced
Yeah.
on the inside just as a subtle way to point to the gospel.
Okay.
But our goal is we went to 3 different schools among the 5 of us. We were all friends through church, and we said, let's sell these things for $2 a pop. We were able to buy 1,000 bracelets. Let's try to raise $2,000 and see if we can help drill a well. And the reason I wanted to share
That's crazy.
share this, is it's just so amazing when you have an idea, you have a dream, you have a vision, a goal, or just a problem that you're thinking about, like Connor was that day. When we express that out loud to others, things start to happen.
Yeah.
Whereas if we keep it in,
You
it
just
may
been a
not
depressed
happen.
15-year-old.
A depressed 15-year-old. And I think about that on a broader perspective. How many best-selling books have never been written? How many amazing company ideas or new inventions, or, I mean, you can go so many different directions. I mean, we were talking about before we started recording, how cool would it be to come up with a kid's animation show for church?
Yeah.
How fun would that be to record that? And then Skylar's like, I'm familiar with animation. I could help with that. And it just, this idea started rolling.
But we had to have 3 people that could talk on a microphone.
Talk on mics, and that's what we're looking for.
Can't find that.
It's just hard.
And so
it's hard to find that.
As Connor expressed it to us, we got excited and bought these bracelets. And then as we expressed it
you
to
pulled
our
your
church,
funds, you got involved,
and to our friends and to our schools, money started coming in. Parents started helping us out. People at our church, we were at Westridge Church at the time, still there. I don't know why I said at the time, still there.
Planning to leave soon.
Yeah, did for a while. That's another story. But people at Westridge got on board, and it turned into an amazing thing where 3 15-year-olds ended up raising over $100,000.
No.
We didn't help drill one well. We helped drill over 28 wells in just a couple of years.
Where?
Burkina Faso, Africa, Ghana, Africa, one in Mali, several in Nigeria.
That's incredible.
I have to go back and look at where else.
So how much
we
did
did one in Central America as well. That was the only one outside of Africa, but mainly the continent of Africa, because that was where the bulk of the billion of people that don't have access to clean water were on the continent of Africa.
And we're still building wells there even today through Westridge and through that ministry. But what is interesting to me that I bet a lot of people, maybe you know or don't know, is that we think instinctively in our heads, let's take them some water. They need it. At 15 years old, you guys figured out, let's drill something. And now they've got a supply that continue. The whole give a fish to someone they eat for a day, teach them to fish, they eat for the rest of their life. That's kind of like you said, let's build a well. And now they can mine the well from all this water that's coming out of it. That's incredible.
One of my highlights of my life was being in Burkina Faso with the company, and we would partner with companies in Africa because we wanted the money to support the local economy as well. And this was
15 years old,
and it was so God. We were idiots. I'm still an idiot. It was just so God lining things up. And that's where my mind goes even further. When we express our ideas out loud, things start to happen. But when we are walking with the Lord and we express our ideas out loud, I'm thinking about that verse, seek first the kingdom and all of these things will be added to you. Just how when we're seeking God first, he begins to align. I may have dreams and goals that aren't in line with his plans for me, but when I'm spending time with him, he begins aligning my will, my dreams, my goals with his. And that's when things really start to happen. And the most amazing experience of my life, one of them, was getting to be there and watch the well get drilled. We danced around a fire all night with the local villagers. It was amazing.
Scary.
Great. So you started a fire that needed water to put it out, and then it just happened. Yeah. That's unreal.
Yeah.
That is so
and taking
cool.
away the fact that you said, your friend said something, and you guys plugged it in to what you could do. I mean, we all think about that. How many things are in our brains? I mean, it was when we started talking about this podcast a while ago, it was like, well, I don't want to die one day and everything just is in here and it doesn't get out there. You know, it's like, yeah, you're right. There's a lot of stuff going on in here. If we don't say it, I always make this comment at church. I'm like, I feel like everybody else knows how to do something. They can build a house, plumb it, put electrical in it. I know how to do nothing, right? They all know how to do something, but it's a reminder that they all know how to do a piece of it, right? And you take everybody's little piece that they're an expert at, all the way down to the marketing and the sales and the grounds and all the things, and that becomes a complete home to somebody. But we don't always know how to do things ourselves. We might have an idea that God puts in there, or that he allows us to think up because we're creative. He's built us in his image with creativity in here. And sometimes we don't have the means, so we talk ourselves out of the idea that maybe he's placed in there. But if we say it out loud to someone or a group of people, be surprised how many people are like, man, I'd love to give that a shot. Hey, I know so-and-so. And then somebody knows somebody else, and all of a sudden, this idea, not every idea is going to come to fruition. It's just not going to happen. But sometimes, man, the most perfect things stem from that. And sometimes it just spurs on something else that might even be bigger. Years ago, somebody said, hey, YouTube, it's taking over our kids' brains and everything. And it's like, it stinks. Just going to be mind numbing to kids and all that. And we said, all right, well, what if we made a YouTube channel that's fun, points kids and families to Jesus, but we have fun while we're doing it?
Yeah.
What if we did that? And that spurred on our Westridge Kids YouTube channel. Somebody said it, not even me. They said the problem. And then I said, well, we've got some iPhones. Let's just shoot on those, right? And it was birthed in the beginning. It all was shot on iPhone. But again, somebody had a problem. And I said, let's give it a shot. And then somebody else said, hey, what about this idea? Yeah. And somebody else said, well, I know a guy that is good at this. And all of a sudden it came together. So that's cool. A great example of just don't keep it all in here.
Yeah.
It'll explode.
Yeah.
Not explode the way you did 2 episodes ago, but you'll
still
explode with ideas. Yeah.
It's going to be a recurring theme talking about.
I mean, it is an incredible foundational piece, but I love what you said. So my takeaway is, if you see a problem, you can do something.
Yeah.
Just do anything.
Well, call back to your episode, several episodes ago.
Right. Just do something.
With the mayor.
You're somebody.
I loved that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's good.
But 2, I love what you said. Share it with others that you know that, and I love that you drew it out of him and then got alongside of him and went with that. That's huge. And I'm just thinking about those listening today, as I was listening today going, I love that. Instead of looking at problems or looking at issues going, gosh, somebody ought to do something.
Yeah.
And I can't do everything about everything.
But can I do something?
Right. And that's kind of my line, is that everybody can't do everything, but everybody can do something.
That's right.
And if I had heard about that, I'm like, well, I can't go to Africa, but I can buy a bracelet. Or, you know what, do y'all have an organization? Can I just give a donation to it?
And that's what started happening too. And
See,
I'll buy a bracelet, but
we don't need a
here's
bracelet.
$500.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'll wear the bracelet and tell people about it.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then to hear, and I think that's
Our
probably
small group leader owned a t-shirt business. And so he starts producing t-shirts for us. And we're selling t-shirts then. And the whole thing just started growing. It was amazing.
Ken, it reminds me of the episode months ago. It might be the same one you're talking about. And I still think about it today. The second somebody says, hey, there is a problem. Look at this. You said
3 fingers.
There's 3 fingers that person told you, pointing back at you. And it's like, well, then come with 3 solutions. Is it the mayor episode? Is that the same one? I still think about every time. It's like, I should come up with some idea. I almost stop myself in my tracks.
New listeners, I believe that was episode 2. If you haven't gone back and listened to everything, jump back to episode 2. It's a great story.
Any other takeaways you have?
It's good.
I mean, you lived it. You went to Africa. You saw the well from 5 buddies and others wells.
And then
serving probably, how many people does each well serve? Do you just guess? Couple thousand?
It totally varies. It could be hundreds, it could be thousands, depending on the area. That one, what was so amazing from it too, and the Burkina Bay, which is what you call people from Burkina Faso, like we're American, the Burkina Bay, what we thought was just, we're bringing them water. This is amazing. But they took so much more from it than just that too. Yeah. So when we got there, we had dinner with the chief of the village and some of his elders. I forget the exact terms, but with the chief and some of the elders, and they're telling us stories, and we've got a translator, and it's dark. It's pitch black dark. And we're eating in the dark and just can barely see each other. Maybe a couple candles lit, but it was just really, really dark. But I felt like we were being watched. And in the middle of the dinner, I stood up and I turned my flashlight on and I just started shining around us. I have no idea how many people were there, but everyone from that village and the 2 neighboring villages walked to that village because they heard what was going on. Kids, babies, everything, hundreds of people all around us.
Wow.
In complete silence, hanging on every word that was said. They valued, of course, the water that was being brought, but they also just valued what this group of people was talking about and sharing with each other and encouraging each other. Wow. And they value relationships and the moment so much. And it taught me how superficial so much of life is, the silly things we get caught up in. And this is what matters. Yeah. And it all started because Connor expressed what it was on his mind out loud.
And then you met a need, right?
Yeah.
And then they were receptive to hear what people have to say. I remember talking to pastors over there in Burkina Faso, and as they're there, they said wherever those wells end up, that's where the churches and the village and the people come around, and they're like, now that I am not malnourished with having water in my body and dehydrated, I'm willing to listen. The second people walk over there, like, hey, let me tell you, this is what you need. You need Jesus. Yeah. They're like, well, I need something to survive. My kids are dying. You provide that, I'll be willing to hear what you have to say.
Why did Jesus feed the 5,000?
Because they were hungry.
He met their physical need.
Met their physical need.
So he could meet their spiritual need too.
That's good. Wow. That's good.
So good.
Well, good. Hey, good takeaways today, guys.
Nice.
That went deep. It went wide.
Deep as a well.
Deep and wide.
I get it. Deep.
That's
a deep subject. Deep subject. It was good.
Awesome.
Well, hey, let's do this. Let's do this next week. You guys want to?
Yeah.
Hang out
so
together.
Down.
Wow.
Let's do it. So you guys,
whether you're here or not, we'll be here.
We will be here doing this. So turn us back on. Hey, subscribe. Pass it along to a friend if you can.
Yeah.
Please.
We would love for as many people as possible to jump on board with this. We love you. We are never, ever, ever promised tomorrow. So always remember, today is a bonus. Every day is a bonus. See you next time,
guys.
We'll
get it eventually.
Bye-bye. One day we'll all say it in the conversation with people.